done. Getting it done, son. Actually, as long as your rights are covered, you're good. You can bounce back and forth. Back from anything. Yeah. No, that's... After I don't know if you guys saw the thing that's happening with the creator of Unordinary. I recently watched a stream that Nen did on a webcomic hub. And he was talking about this, and I was like, fuck. That's exactly why I read every word in my contract. I make sure every T is crossed and every I is dotted. I don't the words as I look at the sentence, right? And I look at the ways it can be twisted and manipulated. That's what I do. I'm looking. That's how I look at the contract. I'm like, can this sentence be taken and used against me? That's how I read the contract. So I'm like, okay, here they say, yeah, right? And I make sure it's very like apparent, like this is exactly what they want, right? This is exactly what I want. This is like, there's no other way you can read into it. This is what is. Like there's no other way you can read or twist it or anything. That's why I've tried to make the contracts very rigid, very like this is what it is. There's no other way of like putting it, like this is a solid now, right? There's no holes anywhere. My hot take is I honestly don't feel bad for them. Didn't even read the contract. Exactly. When I heard that she didn't read the contract, I was like, I was like, nah. I can't feel sorry for you. Like if you didn't read the contract. Please read it. Don't just like too much words, you know? But that's what most artists do, right? A lot of artists is like that. They're like, words, you know, and just fucking move on. I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Read the contract. You could be signing off like your children to the freaking company. You don't even know. You don't know what you're doing. You could be saying, oh, but when I die, I am donating my body to the company and they can use it for like any sort of purpose. And like, you can basically clone me and like that could be all in the contract. It might not be like, it might be some weird fictional shit, but it's in there and you have to be careful. I read contracts like my life depends on it. Because it actually might, eh? So I'm like, nah, I'm not going through any legal shit. Fuck that. I'm not going through any of that shit. Like you don't have to read it yourself. Like you can get a second opinion. There's no problem with actually getting a second opinion of people reading the contract. But give it to someone you trust, like your parents, your mom, like your parents, yeah, your brother, like a lawyer, specifically a lawyer, definitely a lawyer who has your best interest in mind. Definitely a lawyer. Like I had at least 6 different lawyers look at it. And also my brother's friend who is also taking was actually going into that sort of legal, field. So like I had him take a look at it. I had other people take a look at it. I had my parents take a look at it. I had my brother take a look at it. Like I had, like everybody had a look at that contract. I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, are you using the same shit I'm saying? Are you? Okay, cool. We all agree. Okay. Like I basically lay those papers on the table. I laid those papers on the table and I was like, just sitting like with a round table of people, just like figuring out this contract, right? I will bring the mafia in. I'll just like everyone, just call up all the gang members in South Africa. Like, look, I don't care what you're doing. Just drop everything. We're gonna take a look at this contract. And I'm like, who the hell are you? I'm like, we're gonna all look at it, okay? And if you, the council, I'll drop it in front of the government's lap and be like, look at this contract, please, okay? My parents taught me not to trust anyone. Maybe she didn't have anyone to teach her that. I mean, you don't have to be taught that. Like, fucking, just don't trust everyone. Like, don't trust anyone, really. Oh my god. So maybe I should feel... No, don't feel bad for her. No. But to be honest... No, it's not that also, like, I don't feel bad for her, but at the same time, like, people in higher positions, like, they scumbags, dude, for doing that to people as well. Because, and this happens a lot to young people. Because young people hear anime, they hear oh shit, my work's finally gonna be noticed. And they pulled this dream inside of their head, and they're like, oh my god, it's finally happening. The moment has come, right? That's what happens. And then the obviously the more senior the people who like know what the fuck's going on, they just kind of like twist things and manipulate it to kind of get what they want. And all the meantime, the younger, less experienced person is like, oh yeah, this is cool, this is happening, yeah. Meanwhile, there's some fuckery happening behind the scenes, right? They're looking at all this like fuzzy, all these beautiful things in front of them, and then the thing, like the whole beautiful image just ripped down in front of their eyes, and like, this is actually what's happening. Yeah, this is actually what's happening right here, and welcome to hell, right? So so like, they also need to be taken into account. Like, they absolute shitbags. Like, those type of people I fucking hate. I hate them. I hate them with a passion. Like, I hate them because they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, and they do it because they're scum of the absolute earth. Like most of the people here in South Africa. Scum of the absolute earth. Absolute scum, dude. I live with them. They're everywhere. Scum. Oh my god, I gotta lay it up for the coffee. The coffee is like really, it's boosting everything all the way to 1000. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even get this fucking panel done. Like, Jesus. Holy shit. So maybe I should feel bad. But even when I was a kid, I wouldn't sign a contract without reading, yeah. Shame, man. Poor girl was just overexcited. Is she even adult enough? I don't know. I signed my first contract at least at 19. I read the whole thing and made the landlord change things. And damn, Jess was a like little mini boss, I mean, that's just kind of Jess's character. That's just like for real. So I don't know. I have a hard time feeling bad for too much coffee as feeling jumpy. Oh yeah, that rocket ship guy is 100% a scumbag. Yeah. But she also made herself an easy target, so it is what it is, yeah. Now, both parties, it's definitely, there's blame on both sides, yeah. Both sides, like, no one's really, like, not at fault here. It's just what it is. I don't know what the fuck I did with these muscles over here, by the way. I'm trying to figure these out as I'm sitting here talking about this stuff. But now, I'll tell you about the first time I got a contract, and I also didn't do that. By the way, I was... Actually, you know what? It wasn't really a contract. It was more of a verbal agreement. Like, verbal agreements also gotta be fucking, you gotta be careful with that shit. But luckily, it didn't go on forever. Like, luckily, I was pretty lucky with that because, yeah, I kind of didn't, like, after it happened, like, twice, I was like, nah, this is fucking not happening again. I'm not dealing with this shit again. Like, there was 2 times. Like, the first job, I was freelancing, right? I mean, no experience chainsaw walking into the world. Like, I knew nothing about anything walking in, and the good thing is my dad was always there for me. So like, whenever like I would have questions about how contractually things would work, financially how things would work, I always ask my dad, because my dad's very good at like that type of stuff. And my mom's like, she deals with finance stuff. So like, they two were like the really good go-tos. Like my dad doesn't take shit from anyone. My dad is an absolute like monster when it comes to his work. Like, you would never want to work with my dad. My dad is absolute. When it's like, he's such a fun guy, right? He makes jokes, he has a good time. But when he starts work, it's like he's a different person. Like, he just becomes an absolute monster. He just starts yelling at people. I feel like it's the same. I think I have that same thing. Because when I start working and like people like, because it looks bad on you if like people like working under you fuck up, and they look at you, they're like, so why did you fuck up? I'm like, what? This is that guy. Like, yeah, well, you had to watch over that guy and oversee him and what. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of get it now. But yeah, my dad is the same way. Like, he's a fucking monster, dude. Fucking monster when he works. But if you catch him off work, he's just like, he's chilled. He's just having a good break. He'll crack a couple jokes. He's a fun guy. But oh my god, I guess we're lucky, we good parents, and we should judge her. But I'm judging. You shouldn't judge her, but I'm judging. Yeah, I mean, with the internet nowadays, right? I don't know when she started, but with the internet nowadays, like, there's no way you can make that mistake because every artist. I mean, you can go on YouTube and like every like big artist or like every even no-name artist, like people who are just like artists are just here and there. All of them are saying the same thing. Like, this happened to me. Like, I didn't read the contract. I fucked up. Like, there's a lot of them who does that. So like nowadays, if people still fall for it, if they still are not reading the contracts, if they still are not taking the due diligence to like sit down with it, get like 20,000 people to sit down with you and read your contract, right? And just go through everything, come to a consensus, figure shit out, get a lawyer. Like, if they still are not doing it, I don't know, then I can't be on your side, man. You fucked up. You should have read your contract. You know, you should have gone through everything. You should have gone through everything, really. And I always try to go through everything. You know, there's sometimes, even if you do go through it, even if you manage to go through it and read through it, sometimes it's small things that do slip through the cracks, but it's not like major things, that life-ending things. Sometimes it's just dumb shit. Like, it's just dumb shit. Sometimes that happens. It happened to me a few times, like with the contract. It's like dumb shit. I'm just like, why is that even a thing? But it's like not like, it's just annoying, but it's not like your entire life's in danger, you know? But those things do happen as well.